This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
What's going on? Oh, Blue. Poor Blue. Poor Blue. He's all by himself. Chloe's taking a nap. Yeah. Alright, well, we're 8 days into the month now. Ready to go. How's everybody doing? Another night, and I think I forgot to thank everybody last night. I was just thinking after the show. I mean, I thank everybody as it happens, but when you send in super chats and whatnot. But I think I screwed up. I just was thinking. I was laying in bed later, and I was thinking, I don't think I remember thanking everybody. So, hold on one second. I'm gonna do it right now. This is from last night. So hold on. So all the freaks that helped the channel out and the charities last night. Thank you to Rita Schaefer, Cairo, Ink Twin 9, Sammy, Gator 96, Candalee Woodward Stone, Janet Drums, MM, Yep, Miss L, Brenda R, Pebs W, Jessica Schubach, Pebs W again, Rita Schaefer, Diane B, Northwest Girl, or Diana B, Northwest Girl, Donette, Vicky H, Jennifer Cochran Fent, Alicia Powers, Elizabeth Gregory, True Crime Maria, Monica Foster, Quietly Frozen, Pebs W again, Girl Interrupted, Donut Bonus, Ria Mazzarone, 80s Baby, Georgina Stoliker, Nikki 124, True Crime Maria, Pam McAtee, Lori Staggs, Living It, as in Living the Dream, Jen Richards, Papa Q, Cindy Lynn, Lynette Burns, Kelly Bates, Georgina Stoliker, Jen H, Mom of 4, 57 Rose, Marty McFly, Susanna Matt Gilla-Prodrick, Brenda R, Amy's Justice League, Kathy B, Pam McAtee, and Dreaming Girl. Thank you. Our Dreaming Girl, Dreaming Girl, that's right. I think it was right at the end of the show. Yeah. So there you have it. Just wanted to make sure I, didn't forget you guys. I mean, I normally don't forget that, but I did last night. I think. I just was laying in bed and I wasn't sure. No, there we go. That's better. Yeah, it's Friday night. Go get that beer, okay? And also, we're still doing the same thing. Tonight, at the end of the show, we do a drawing for the tumbler or a mug or sometimes more, depending on how good the night goes. And you send in super chats or PayPals, and you get PayPal. You get extra chances because YouTube doesn't take 30% out of it. And hey, welcome, JSD. I think somebody else came in here. There was another new freak up above, too. Lindsay, thank you. Yeah. And just ignore, if you see any trolls typing in tonight, just ignore them, okay? Just let them go up above. Don't look at them. Unless you're a moderator. And thank you, LM, for PayPal earlier. Appreciate it. Yeah, so there's just some weird stuff going on. You know, somebody that, you know, always puts out sensationalistic videos. Never any just something traditional. It's always, you know, it's always odd trying to get as many subs as possible. They put out a video on the Delphi case, and let's see. So I'll just read the transcript of it because I'm not going to play their video. And what they were saying is that, wow, I came up with something new. Maybe the killer in the Delphi case came from the other side, as if nobody had ever said that before. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's just not likely. However, it is possible, especially now that there's maybe two voices, maybe there's two people, Kagan Klein. You know, he's obviously not the guy on the bridge, but apparently his voice sounds like that. Maybe he was on the other side. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know that at all. Hey, thanks, Kathy Friedenmaker. I mean, I've never thought there was two people there, ever. Okay. However, you know, lately, you know, you sort of start entertaining way more options than before, because it's a lot crazier given what we know are the possibilities now. Now that social media could be involved, and we've got the, you know, Kagan and Tony Klein and all in this ring of pedophiles using the Dropbox and everything. But anyways, this is what the person literally said. Okay, listen to this. They said, wow, okay, man. So it's always this really mellow voice trying to sound really rational and cool and interesting. Yeah. So like what I was saying was that, you know, at 2:07 is the picture of Abby. And only 6 minutes later, there's, you know, the killer's at the other end of the bridge. You have to be in great shape to get there in 6 minutes. You have to be in fantastic shape to get there in 6 minutes. So I don't think that the guy crossed the bridge at all. I think he was already on the other side. You know, taking pictures. You know, and the comic sort of images along with the video are just mind-boggling. Like literally standing there taking a picture with Libby, like the killer standing next to Libby taking a picture of Abby. It's so ludicrous. Now let me just tell you guys something. The bridge is 865 feet long. You know, right around there, right? It's 865 feet long. It's not even 300 yards, okay? It's like 250 or something. So let me just show you guys something here, just for the hell of it. Of course, I would do something like this. But there's a online calculator where you type in 300 yards, and that's not how long it is. So it's more like, let's see. So actually, what we'll do on the screen is we'll measure the bridge ourselves, even though it's listed somewhere, but you can see the start of the bridge right there. And let's just measure it. So right in there, right there, and then right over to, let's do feet. And it's right there. So it's like 856, let's just say 860 feet, okay? So 860 feet equals how many yards? And probably there, boom. So 286 yards, okay? So there we go. Let's just use that one. And we'll put 286 yards in here. And let's say you walked at a measly 3 miles an hour. That's really slow, okay? You walk at 3 miles an hour, it would take 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Okay? And that's like, you know, you're looking down and you're making sure you're not stepping on anything. All right? So let's say you walk at just 2 miles an hour. It's just barely muddling along long. That's 4.875 minutes. So, the girls were going really, really slow because maybe they were taking pictures still. Maybe, Abby was a little bit nervous on the bridge and whatnot. So, I have a friend, Beth, Baba, that comes in here. She walked across in less than 4 minutes the first time she was there because she's not scared of heights. Just kind of went ding, 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 ding. Just walked at a pace and got across the bridge. All right? So when this guy tells you, and look at it like this. The first photograph was taken exactly on platform 3. So let's go ahead and measure that distance for all the rodeo clowns out there to the end of the bridge. Well, hell, that's only 518 feet. Let's say not even that. 515. So that would take probably 2 minutes to walk if you were just walking directly. So here's the thing. That guy, if the girls were right here and it took them 6 minutes, he could have easily caught up to him. Let's say they were here, he could have caught up to him. It took them a long time to go that a little bit, probably like 50% of the bridge, 60% I mean. Let's see, 15, probably like 60% of the bridge they walked in 6 minutes. That is really, really slow.
Happy Freaky Friday to all you dear freaks.
Hey, thanks, Sherlock Hemlock.
Weekend, especially Gray.
Yeah. But you know me. It's not really ever a weekend or anything like that. No, we don't. Nobody knows answers to the questions on where they were supposed to meet or anything like that. But do you guys get what I'm saying here? The guy built an entire premise on you'd have to be in great shape to walk 500 feet in 6 minutes. That's absolutely not true at all. So the whole premise of the video was false. Do you understand that? I just want to make sure everybody gets that. Absolutely false. So, and what's interesting is that I'm thinking right now how easily it would have been for somebody to actually catch up to him, even if they did it in 4 minutes. Let's say they walked in. Let's say it was just they were slow as hell and did it in 4.5 from the beginning. So they're walking over here. The girls took 6 minutes from here. So hell, you know what? They might have. So if it took 6 minutes from there, he could have passed them actually on the bridge. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible, too, that there is the killer, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the girls made it to this end, the killer passed them and then turned around. Okay, that is a possibility. It just doesn't make any sense, though. Why would the killer pass them and walk like 70 feet past them and then turn around and then come back towards them? Why not just barely pass them to make sure that they don't go running somewhere? It just doesn't make any sense. So, what's cool is when people actually take the time to rationally think through stuff and kind of come up with something that would take more time. No, you don't have to be in great shape to get across, go 500 feet in 6 minutes. As a matter of fact, you're walking like a snail at that point. Let's see. Let's just pretend it was 600 feet. All right, let's just pretend it was 600. Well, that would be 200 yards. And if you walk 2 miles an hour, it would take you 3 minutes to walk that distance. But they didn't. So even if you put one, so if you put 1 mile an hour, the girls they walked 1 mile an hour from platform 3 to the end of the bridge because it took them about 6 minutes. Maybe you could put 1.5. But, get on a trip, not even that, man. It's like 1.2. Yeah, there you go. That's close to like 5.68 minutes. That's really slow. Get on a treadmill and set it to 1.2. It's hard to walk that slow. So, obviously, what they were doing, they might have walked a little bit, took some more pictures. Hell, maybe they even saw this guy. I don't even know when they saw the guy coming because it took him 6 minutes. He could have caught up to them in like 3 minutes at the pace he was moving. And if he was walking at a regular pace, like 3-4 miles an hour, like I said, he could have crossed the bridge in 3 minutes It took them 6 to go 60%. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah, well, they didn't move quicker. The girls didn't. Abby wasn't comfortable on the bridge, so she was always behind Libby. She's behind Libby in both the photographs and in the video. So my assumption is that Libby was never behind Abby. She was always just kind of in front, encouraging her to come across. And then at some point, mathematically, if the girls were here, if they really started keep going across the bridge, they could have been at platform 4 when the guy started on this end, and at a normal pace, he would have caught up with them before they made it across, given the pace they were moving. And they might not have noticed him for a while, but I think at some point they looked back and saw perhaps the same guy that they saw when they got dropped off. He seemed kind of creepy, but they were looking for Anthony Schatz, so they sat around and waited, and then after a while they decided to head across do some other things because they had to wait for their dad, but they didn't see Anthony Schatz, so they go take some pictures on the bridge, and they're walking across. Maybe at some point they see the guy, and they bolted across. Here's what's really possible is that they took that picture here. They just hung out on the bridge for a while, and they too got across in a reasonable pace after they noticed somebody. Because I don't think they would have wanted to cross in front of, go towards that person, do you? Like if you were on a really narrow bridge like that and you saw this creepy guy coming at you, would you go past him on the bridge if you were a little kid? I don't think so. All right. Now, the other thing that this clown said on YouTube, and I'll call him that because here's the next thing. This actually happened here. Look at this. So here's this guy named David Gray. And so what this guy was telling everybody is don't judge anybody. Nobody can judge. He acts like he's really religious. He's about as far away as you can get from that. Don't judge anybody. Just everything's cool. Why would you judge a criminal if they've been in prison and they served their 15, 20 years and they got out? Why would you judge them? They served their time. Because, doesn't it matter what they were in prison for? Like, my first thought was, what if somebody was in prison and they're a pedophile and they get let out? That was my first thought after he said that. And they get let out after 20 years. Are we supposed to go, hey, he's okay now? He's awesome, dude. No, that's not what we do. So this guy named David Gray said, in the chat, after he said don't judge anybody, he said, I have no problem judging pedos and child abusers. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what geez, are you kidding me? Who wouldn't do that? You know what his response was to that? Listen to this. This is an actual YouTuber trying to seem, godly. Like, I'm above the judging. This is the response to this David individual. So let me read it again. David said, let me just open it up. David said, I have no problem judging pedos and child abusers. And this clown actually responded and said, yeah, but who are you, David? What makes you so good? What makes you God? Can you freaking believe that? Who the hell would say something like that? That's freaking nuts. Okay? I don't even know what you're doing just get the hell off of the internet with that kind of shit. Who are you to judge that guy? And it turns out, David in this, in the public YouTube channel, he said that he was a victim of one. And then he was like trying to make him feel bad for having anger for the pedophile. What an absolute dipshit, okay? So I don't really know what's going on out there, but there was people in there going, that's right, man. Take away the anger. Who are these people? Are these like bots that follow these channels and pretend that that's interesting? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Anyways, yes. I just really can't believe somebody actually could say that. Literally said, yeah, but who are you, David? What makes you so good? What makes you God? Because he was judging somebody for being a child molester and a pedophile. Wow. Jesus.
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
That was a good time for that one.
Did you hear what I said? That's just one step above stupid.
Yeah, all of that, Grady, all of that. Man, yeah, that actually made me angry. What made me angry is just the sort of bullshit little fake, with the sunglasses and just sitting there like, yeah, and so man, it's trying to sound really chill and shit. The guy isn't anything like that at all. That guy, I know he is behind the scenes. He's a complete just jackass monster type. So I'm just telling you, if you got somebody out there that's actually trying to, this is the kind of guy, what I'm talking about in the future, that's going to allow pedophiles to exist and be sort of like accepted in society, because who are we to judge? Yeah, give me a break. All right, sorry for the I just had to get that out. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Brown-Eyed Girl 714 on PayPal there. Alright, and then we got Mary Glaviano. She said if she wins the spin, to spin again. So there you go. You got some free spins out there. Well, you don't want the mug? Yvonne T, thank you very much. And then also Kelly Dragonborn from Game of Thrones. Alright. There you go. Thank you guys. Oh, and there's another one. Hallie Pike. Yeah, well, when you send in donations for the channel, it helps my channel out and the charities. I donate over 50% of the net revenue from YouTube. Okay, so right now we're at 12,900 and something to charity so far this year. I think it's 12,600, right? Is that right? Oh yeah, 12,625. I'm gonna have to do something about that 25. It's bugging me a little bit. All right. And so basically what the guy said before, though, on this bridge thing is, okay, we know that this image was taken at 2:07 p.m. We see that there's nobody on the bridge. There's nobody entering the bridge behind Abby. Yes, we've said that 1,000 times. We know that the image was captured at 2:13 p.m., the one with the video. We even see what appears to be Abby's elbow. Well, we don't know if it's Abby's elbow or what it is. See, we've gone over all the same stuff before. It's not new. Like, he's presenting it like it's this new discovery out there. We also know that it would take somebody in very great shape to run across that bridge if you plan to make it within 6 minutes. Well, no, we just explained how that's completely bogus. Now, this is just a thought. What if the bridge guy was already with... see, this is even weirder. This is what he said. What if the bridge guy was already with the girls? Like he's hanging out with them, when this image was taken, meeting them on the southeast end, if we walked out onto the bridge and... Oh, man. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's not the case, because we know people that have heard the video. It's not how it went. They didn't know where to go. They didn't know what to do. See, a lot of times you got to just stop. When you have this wild thought, you don't just type it out and blurt it out and make a video about it. You actually have to think for a minute. Does that match with the things that were told? Oh, no, it doesn't, because the girls were asking which way to go. They didn't know what to do. And so why would they do that if they were already hanging out with somebody? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're got a slow start on the super chat, so we got to get. Right now, we're at about probably 9% of the normal night. So we're 26 minutes in. We're going to continue going, and I'm not really sure what more to say about this stuff, but it's just absolutely it's nonsensical. It's ridiculous. All right, and. I'm not going to say the YouTuber's name because it's too embarrassing for them. I just hope that somehow they realize that, wow, I'm dumb, Especially, mainly the stuff that they said about the pedophiles. Whew, wow. Did you need that cleared up, Joe? You could have moonwalked across that bridge in less than 6 minutes. I mean, that's just ridiculous. All right. Oh, sorry, that's just my bot there. That wasn't me typing it in. Yeah. Yeah, just look in the mirror and say, wow, I'm dumb. Whoa, Jesus. I sat there and told people that you have to be in great shape to cross the bridge in 6 minutes. No, it means you have to walk 1 mile an hour. It's mind-boggling. It's literally not even 300 yards. It's not one lap. It's a 3/4 of a lap around a track at your high school. Anyways, I don't know what's going on out there. People can watch whatever the hell they want to watch. I just find it amazing that there's that many dumb people that sit around, like on the Grifters channel and this guy, and go, wow, that's so interesting, man. That is awesome. And it's like, wow. It makes you nervous about ever having to go to court with a jury. Because some of these people would actually be sitting on it. Doesn't that scare you a little bit every once in a while? Thanks, Sammy. You would walk 500 miles? Oh, yeah. I mean, hell, Ada could walk that bridge in a minute. Because I guess apparently she walks like 10 miles a day sometimes. It's like, God, are you kidding me? 10 miles? Whew, man. Yep, they walk among us. That's absolutely true. Yeah, so listen, everybody. Yeah, you just don't want to judge. I mean, who are you to judge somebody? If they served their time in prison and they get out, isn't that what their judgment should be over at that point? And, God, are you kidding me? Wow. That was a pretty good imitation, I gotta tell you. Scary, actually. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to get on to some of these cold cases now. I don't have any more to talk about. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up regarding this? Yes, it is possible. When the girls walked across the bridge, there was a guy just randomly waiting over there. He passed them, turned around, went past them again, and then turned around. Yeah. It's definitely possible. Is it likely? No. However, it does become more interesting when you consider that both the stepchildren said that the voice saying, "Hey guys, down the hill," does sound like Kagan to them, but it doesn't sound like Tony. So what if Tony was out there just waiting for, well, I mean, in this case, it seems like they were lured there. I don't know why they, how they would have known that the girls would go on the bridge. That's kind of confusing. And maybe Tony was the one that was on the bridge, and then Kagan was on the other side sitting there waiting like a trap, and he's the one that said, hey guys, down the hill, maybe, something like that. It's not likely again. All right, Gen H, I want you to laugh. Come on. Boom. Yeah, I'm a little bit animated. I mean, when you say could have, it's so... I don't think it's very likely that there was two people there at all. I think there's one person. I think if there was two, there would have been a little bit more different, like more witnesses and just things going on, too much commotion, activity, especially with two large people. I think it's just one. But here's the thing, is I don't know if the person is either one of them. I actually think that maybe... See, Tony seems like somebody who could have set something up for somebody else. I don't know. God. I think the police are definitely on the right track. That's what I believe. Definitely on the right track, no doubt about it. Hey, thanks, Your Gypsy. Your Gypsy. One person, yeah. Yes, hit that like button, everybody. Hit that like button.
I'm fired out of it now.
Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 25, 50, 50, 50, 50,
20, 30, and 30,
30.
and 30, 25, 30. You want to put 30, sir? 25 of them, you're out. I'm 25, 30, 30, now 5, I'm 35.
Darn it. That sucker just keeps on going there, doesn't it? Alright, so if anybody's not paying attention, there you go, now you are paying attention. Hope you didn't have your volume turned up on that one. So, yeah. Hey, let's watch, we got some Grady Judd, it's like a 4-minute clip here, about the same, like a similar topic. Hey, thanks, Georgina Stoliker. All right, here we go.
Let me introduce you to Richard Battle. He's 24 years of age. 5 brain cells, 4 He's a Polk County firefighter.
He's a firefighter.
We arrested him. That's right. In 2019, he saw a 14-year-old child on Instagram. And
Did
so
you hear
he
what I said?
added her
Wait, hold
to
on.
his Snapchat account.
Wait, hold on. See, look at Snapchat again, everybody. This is just crazy. I think there's like a network out there. Here, let's listen.
And so he...
Here we go.
Instagram. Did you hear what I said? And so he added her to his Snapchat account. Did you hear what I said? And started communicating with her.
Yeah.
She told him she was 14. Didn't make any difference. He started asking her, the victim, for nude pictures. This little girl's 14. She said no. He said, well, I've got you on Snapchat, and it gives your address. I know where you live. I'm going to come tell your mama what you've been doing if you don't send me some nude videos.
I mean, look at this crap that they do.
That's right. He extorted her. She was 14. She was a child. She was afraid.
Hey, listen, you guys. Does this make you guys angry? Does it make you angry, everybody? Put a 1 if it makes you angry. But let me just say this to you. But who are you, okay? What makes you so good? I mean, what makes you God? What an idiot that guy is. Are you kidding me? Of course this guy's a pile of crap.
So she sent nude videos. She didn't say anything about it at the time. She was young.
Thanks, Karen.
She was timid. She was scared. So over the next almost 2 years, 2.5 years, he still asked her periodically.
Yeah, he's still like,
hey, how about some more nude videos? How about some more nude videos? Well, finally, she got enough of it. He made some statement to her just recently. So she started searching him up. He used his real name, made it easy. She found out that he was a firefighter. She saw him in his firefighter's uniform, pictures with a fire truck. She had a friend that she told about this. This guy who's been doing this to me for 2 years is a firefighter. Well, folks, we're all held to a higher standard in public safety. That enraged our victim, who was 14 at the time and now is almost 17. So there was a report to the fire department. The fire department, as you know they would, did the right thing and called us.
Thank you, Karen.
We began an investigation, and he admitted. He gave us admissions. Well, I thought she was 18. Well, newsflash, she's not. Instead of fighting a hot fire, you got a hot mess on your hands because you are in the county jail now. And your next stop, we hope, is the state prison. We're not accepting this. It's zero tolerance. You're not going to attack these children online. You're just not going to do that without there being retribution from the criminal justice system. Now, this is also a warning to parents. Parents, this guy was doing this while she was 14. Where was the child app protection setting on her cell phone when she's a little 14-year-old girl? Parents, why aren't you talking to your children?
There you go, see?
This child was extorted by this guy. Extorted. And now he's locked up. He won't be fighting any fires. Any questions?
Yeah, I was going to ask. So he said, he claims that he thought she was 18, but it sounds like you have proof that she told him she was 14 and he said okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Welcome to the county jail. The closest thing he's going to get.
I want to hear that.
She was young. She was timid. She was scared. So over the next almost 2 years, 2.5 years, he still asked her periodically, hey, how about some more nude videos? How about some more nude videos? Well, finally, she got enough of it. He made some statement to her just recently. So she started searching
he was
him
just
up.
extorting her.
He used his real name.
Extorting her for pictures over the years. Oh, man. Jesus. Isn't that crazy? A firefighter, too. I mean, firefighters, everybody respects them. But, man, I guess barbarians can be amongst any profession. Yeah, crazy. All right, well, that's all I got on that one. I just wanted to hear that last part again. So now we're going to do some cold cases. And then maybe at the end we'll do some newspapers.com, something like that. There's Kristen Cure. Here, let me turn. That's on. Before you start a new subject, could you tell me how long it took Blue to accept and love Chloe? How long did that seem, you guys? Like a couple weeks? Maybe a month or so? I don't know. But now, if you pick up Chloe, he stands around next to you going, hey, 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 you know, watch out, watch out. Yeah, didn't take that long. I mean, he was really just kind of... I mean, he kind of, you know, accepted her right away. He wasn't like trying to get her out of the house or anything, but he was just kind of freaked out. Probably depends on the dog, too.
Before you start a new subject, could you tell me how long it took Blue to accept and love Chloe? Thinking of getting a second pup.
Yeah, I mean, it probably depends on the type of dog. Like, I remember this one time, you know, this kind of sucks as a story, but it's a little bit like the lizard eye or whatever. So there was this girl that I met, and, you know, we hung out, and then one day, and then she was going to come visit me all the way up from Seattle, and she came over to the house, and, you know, when she comes in, she brings her Shiba Inu with her. And that thing comes in and just immediately went over to the dog food and was attacking at the time Rocky and this other one. You know, like it was her dog food. I mean, it was the craziest thing. I was just like, hey, you know, we got to forget this. And then she just left. I mean, there was never a moment of... her dog went absolutely nuts. So, oh well. Another one bites the dust. And here's the thing, people. When you have a dog, and yes, you own a dog. You know, you own a dog. It's your dog, right? Make sure that you've trained the dog, and it doesn't create other people problems. Okay. It's the same thing when you have kids. You know, you have to be the parent when you're out at a restaurant that your kids are the ones that are quiet, and maybe they play quietly, but they're really quiet, and they don't scream and make noises and things like that. Like, ah! You know, it's amazing how many people just accept it when their kids do that. Right? So, but if you are one of the parents that don't mind it if your kids ruin everybody else's night out, like you're in a nice restaurant and they're screaming at the top of their lungs right behind another couple who just want to have a nice peaceful night out. If you're one of those parents that don't mind, I suggest that you, well, first of all, don't go to the restaurant. You don't need to ruin somebody else's night. Either get a babysitter or just don't go. Secondly, maybe get a, you ever seen those deep sea diving suits? You ever seen those? Yeah, what I would do is bring them to the restaurant, but they're wearing deep sea diving outfits, and they are screaming at the top of their lungs, but nobody can hear a damn thing they are saying. But maybe you have this little hole where you squirt paste into their mouth, something like that to eat, but at least everybody else got to enjoy their evening. All right? Excellent. All right. And what you'll do is you'll see these, like you pan over at a nice dinner. He'd be like, yes, now what did you think about the stock? And the camera pans over, and there's this kid behind one of those round glass openings going, and then it just keeps panning by. Yeah, you know, I was thinking of investing in that too. It would have been absolutely... God, that would be the greatest Saturday Night Live skit you could ever imagine. Right there. Right up there with the Bassomatic. Yeah. Now watch. There's these people watching that have little kids at home going, that's not very nice, Gray. I deserve to go. Well, you know what? You do deserve to go out. But get a damn babysitter, okay? Because nobody else wants to hear this screaming and, you know, all the sounds. Like, bah! There isn't anybody that wants to go to a movie theater when a kid's screaming, okay? Because that wasn't part of the movie, you know? All right, boom. Hopefully I got, some of you were laughing a little bit there. Yeah. Although I'm absolutely serious what I just said. Yeah. Yeah? What are you talking about? You were a gypsy? I was talking about kids inside of deep sea diving suits. And you said, I love that you get all the facts from newspapers. Yeah, well, I mean, that's sometimes that's all you got, It's amazing when you see a cold case on the internet and it'll say something like, they'll have like 2 lines, but when you go to the newspaper, there's 10 articles and in-depth on it, so it's like a total waste of time to just read the Google result. Yeah, I mean, I understand, so here's the thing. When we were kids, my parents, so what I was really saying was teach your kids to be polite and quiet when they're at restaurants. As soon as they make noise, you either spank them or whatever it is. But when we were kids, that's how we were taught. So we were really quiet. We'd sit in there and we'd hold the fork correctly, not like a caveman like this. And we'd eat our food, and people would literally come up to our table. My mom would tell us that, like these other adults would come up and say, "How did you do that? How did you do that?" Oh. Well, it's called being a good parent. You literally, you're not supposed to be a kid's friend. You're supposed to be their parent. Okay, you're not chums with them. Well, this is my humor too, twin mom. So it's like I am serious about what I'm saying. I'm really telling you something I really think. Jessica Schubach.
Cracking me up, Craig. Plus looking forward to the cold cases.
Yeah, gonna get to those.
For everything. _basic generous.
Yeah, there's going to be like these 3 cold cases. One of them has more information. The other ones are sort of shorter. One of them, they don't know what it is, kind of. But then we'll do some newspapers.com. Yeah, well, there you go, Kelly Dragonborn. See, that's a thoughtful thing to do. I mean, it's hard, too. Like, if kids have ADD, for example, or whatever the hell that is, they're hyper. They're not going to want to go sit in a restaurant, So that's why you got to take them to Chuck E. Cheese, right? Where there's games over there they can go play. Of course, you got to go walk with them over there now with all the creepy whack jobs out there. Yes, the thumbs up button is broken because so many people hit it. Let me ask you this. Was there anybody offended with anything I just said? And if it was, it's probably not the place for you. Because I just say what I'm thinking, and I think most people think what I just said, even though you might go, that's not nice, quick kids deserve to... No, forget it. All right, thanks. Laurie Fisher.
Thanks for always making me laugh.
Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah. I have all kinds of memories when we were kids. One time, here's sometime I got spanked by my mom. And I wish spanking was okay again, Yes, they're psycho parents, the ones that are like... But, my mom used to use a belt or wooden spoon and all that. And, it hurt like hell, but it worked, right? I've never been in prison. I mean, maybe the grifters should have got spanked a few times. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember what I was going to say. I had 3 hyper boys, so I carried a pack of cards. Yeah, like spanking actually worked. Oh, yeah. So we had my grandparents. They were actually just friends of my actual grandparents, but I never met my grandparents of either side because they died like younger. You know, I don't know what the hell the deal was there, but I only got to. So they were friends. Grandpa Gus and Grandma Agnes. I mean, is that just the most classic name ever for like that time period? Probably like around 1920. I mean, Agnes and Gus. I mean, my God, it was perfect. So, and we went out to dinner one time, and well, we went out to dinner with them a lot because they had money, and we were really poor actually when we were kids. So they took us out to dinner, and they were going to take us to eat some steak. But we ate something else, and as we were leaving, for some reason I said, "Thanks for no steak." Like, I don't know why. I remember saying it, though. You know, it's weird. I actually remember that. And the reason I remember it because I was spanked. And there's no way in hell I would ever think of, say something like that again. Thanks for no steak. You know, but we probably had some yummy Chinese food or something. Thanks for no steak. You assholes. You didn't get us the steak that you told us that you were gonna. Oh yeah, that didn't work too well. Yeah. Used to have to tell my daughter all meat was steak, so she would eat it. Oh yeah. Spare the rod, spoil the child. That's right. But now you can't spank anymore. The teachers give out a card. Call this number if they ever spank you. And that's why we got all these stupid back talking. You know, not that they're stupid, but just out of control kids these days. Yeah. Hopefully there's still some parents out there that are able to figure out how to. I did want steak. Thanks for no steak. That's awesome. You know, it's so weird. I was just thinking the other day, when you're a kid, you have these really like your imagination is so like anything's possible. I mean, we sat there. We built this huge like go-kart and put it on top of this hill. We put these little wheels. It was just the dumbest thing in the world, just to write it down this one hill that would probably, it's just really dumb. It's strange. I was just thinking, it's a lot of weird stuff you can think back to when you're a kid. Oh, really, Amber? Jeez. Man, that's... How does that even show up in their minds? You know why? Because he's stupid. Well, I won't say that, but these teachers out there are pushing this narrative that kids are actually smarter than parents, and they're just people too, and parents shouldn't really... They should be more their friend and just kind of pay for everything and get them through school, and we're just all buddies, and it's just not the way it was. It worked really well for a lot of years when parents could spank their kids and make sure that and parents don't spank kids because they want, you're like, oh my God, this is so fun. It just worked. It made them not want to get spanked again. I don't know. I think there's way too many that think that way. So when you say at what point it seems like what you're saying, Kristen Cure, is the number of actual teachers has diminished dramatically. Oh yeah? Thank you. You're Gypsy. And thank you to Terry Abbott on the PayPal. Appreciate it. Got you in there. Yeah. Well, nobody in my family, not any of my brothers, have ever been in prison or arrested for anything. And that's because my mom made it seem bad to do those kind of things. Now, I will admit, like I've told you guys before, when we were young, I was on a swim team. I was a really good swimmer, and I'd swim and swim. I mean, they called me chlorine brain. I didn't think that was very nice, but Anyways, we didn't have enough food. Even though we had enough food, Mom, she never gave us too little food, I guess. But when you're exercising a lot, you burn a lot of calories, and so you need extra food. So we'd sit around by these vending machines, the kind that have ding-dongs and Twinkies and Hostess donuts. And it would kind of, as soon as somebody bought something, there's those doors that slide open. But if you push the button and the door at the same time, it would slide over to the next one. So we would just sit there and wait and wait and wait until somebody bought something. And then we had one shot at it, because if you don't hit it right at the right time, it switches over and you've lost it. Now you've got to wait for somebody else. So you can actually sit there and get like 3 or 4 Hostess fruit pies, or, all those different things. And we did that a couple times, but we needed food, man. We needed food. I know, yeah. Hey, I was only 9. Come on, LM. Jeez, cut me a break. Have a smack our backsides if we were misbehaving. The look was enough. Yeah, well. Sometimes the look isn't enough. All right, well, guess what? I'm going to move on now to the cold cases. You guys ready? Ding, 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 ding. I'm just going to do it in numerical order, date-wise. And these are back in the same place that the bombing, the bombing at the house with the... hold on a second. Yeah, the Puska's house. I think I'm going to make a video on that one, the Puska's, and just put it out there so it's there to play. That one seems like it should have got a lot more attention in the true crime community. It's pretty weird. I think she's proud. She was like, "Wow, you were on." You were on TV. She didn't make like a big deal about it. Plus, she, told her about how the channel's doing and all the things that we've done, and she thought it was pretty cool. But like, she's done really amazing things. Just out there. Well, I mean, it's hard to say now because people always judge, but like, she was really one of the main people fighting against the legalization of drugs. But there's so many people, drugs are great, let's legalize the hell out of them. Yeah, I mean, that's great and everything, but at least there was somebody fighting against that, right? And she went to Washington, did all kinds of stuff. I mean, literally went there, not like the grifter. The grifter said, let's go to Washington. She did go there, and she's in the newspaper a lot, and, she was a big, pretty powerful force in that. Hey, thanks, Lindsay. Wow. The UFO. That's the... Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cat Eye. Although it was 1 penny short, but it's still the same. You guys ready? Here we go. Alright, so I haven't mapped any of these out, but I have the folders for them. So let's do that. And so I'm going through some of these other New Jersey cases. There's a whole bunch of them. I found that one website that has the had a ton on there. It said, Miss Shirley Kirsch, 52, the owner of the Flair Jewelers here, was shot in her home. I wonder if that's still around. You know, a lot of times those jewelry stores. Okay. So, it could have been one of these other places here. We don't know yet. So, and I don't know if they're going to give the address of where she worked. So, she's 52 years old. The owner of Flair Jewelers here was shot in her home by two men this morning and died shortly afterward. Investigators for the Middlesex Prosecutor's Office and Borough Police have not determined if robbery was the motive in the 8:40 a.m. killing at 71 Valentine Street. Alright, right there. And here's her home. Well, just do 5001 and see if what happens. Yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's probably obviously the same house. It's been there a long time. What a cool house, though. Look at that. Yeah, that's awesome. It's amazing. Man, I would love to have a house like that. Stone, and look at that door. Unbelievable. Welcome, Sasame. Yeah, it's really old. You can tell. Investigators for the Middlesex Prosecutor's Office and Borough Police have not determined if robbery was the motive in the 8:40 a.m. killing at 71 Valentine Street home. Detective Lieutenant James G. Caffrey, Jr. of the Prosecutor's Office and Police Chief William Cuddy said they would not release a description of the two men until more information can be obtained. However, a police bulletin broadcast throughout Middlesex County warned departments to look for a black and brown car carrying two men. Caffrey and Cuddy said Mrs. Kirsch apparently was alone in the house at the time of the shooting, and that a housekeeper working in the yard ran in and called police. Mrs. Kirsch's brother, David Pazament, however... Oh, interesting. So that name came up later. Mrs. Kirsch's brother, David Pazament, however, said 27-year-old Jeffrey Kirsch, son of the victim, also was home at the time. Well, how the hell is that? Man, that's crazy. So the son, Jeffrey Kirsch, was at home when her mother was shot. Police officials this morning were unsure whether Mrs. Kirsch died on the way or at the Middlesex General Hospital. Caffrey said Mrs. Kirsch was shot either in the back of the... And so there... Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? You look at this picture from 1970 something, and there is exactly... That right there is right here. Oh, you can't see it. There you go. Hold on. Let me fix it. See that? Right there and right there. Hasn't changed a bit in almost 50 years. I think that's the top, because just based on where they're at. Yeah, I think I missed a missing one here. Hold on. Shirley, Kirsch. And this was on 19 May 1974. That's probably good enough. No. I don't have that page 2. I want to see what was on the rest of that. What's going on? Oh, I have to sign in. Jeez. How weird is that? Yeah, it says May 16th is the one I'm looking at. Is it this one? Let me read this one instead. Miss Shirley, Kirsch 52, the owner of... Okay, we got that one. According to the detective... I think we're right here. Authorities this morning were piecing together eyewitnesses and second-hand accounts. I'll just read this one instead of the last one. But there it is again. Kirsch, that's the house right there. There's that lamp. I wonder if that lamp's still there. I think they switched that out. That's the lamp. Was that the one? Yeah, okay, that's the one we were looking at. So page 3. Oh yeah, there you go. So I missed this part that was at the bottom. Okay. So it said... Police officials this morning were unsure whether Mrs. Kirsch died on the way or at the Middlesex General Hospital. Caffrey said Mrs. Kirsch was shot either in the back of the neck or in the upper back, but he was unsure how many times. He said an autopsy would be performed this afternoon. Police said Mrs. Kirsch also has a 16-year-old daughter, Deborah, who was in school at the time of the shooting. She was the widow of late... Let's see. She was the widow of late Dr. Sidney Kirsch, an optometrist who died last September. That's so small, the writing. Her father, Nathan Paziment, is a principal in the Monte Carlo winery in New Brunswick. She had operated the Flair Jewelry and Gift Shop at 411. There we go. Let's see. 411 Raritan Avenue. So right here. Flair Jewelers. And now it's a hair shop. Looks like that could have been a jeweler. And she lived right here, so she only lived about as the crow flies. 0.67 miles, so probably about a mile driving. So you'd have to go straight and up. It doesn't matter which one you go, but it's the same. You have to end up driving over to the left. So, well, actually, you could just go like this and get the exact distance by going like from here to there, and then actually, that's not it. I mean, just distance-wise, probably like that. And that's 0.98, so like I said, a mile. Let me get this other, the one that we were just looking at seemed pretty good. I'm going to read this one, it seemed better. I'm going to store this. I love these photos, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the black and white aspect of it, or they just seem more real, like spontaneous the way they... Thank you, Candalee Woodward Stone.
I enjoyed your talk on kids. Mine are 51 and 44. My deceased son would have been 45.
Oh, sorry
Time
about
for all you do.
Sorry about that. It's hard to lose a child. That's probably the worst thing ever for a parent. All right, Mrs. Shirley Kirsch, 52, the owner of the Flair Jewelers here, was shot in her home by two men this morning and died shortly afterwards. Investigators from the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office and Borough Police have not determined if robbery was the motive in the 8:40 a.m. murder at Mrs. Kirsch's 71 Valentine Street home. According to Detective Lieutenant James G. Caffrey, Jr., of the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, the woman was shot either in the back of the head or upper back, but he did not know how many times. An autopsy is to be performed this afternoon. Authorities this morning were piecing together eyewitnesses and second-hand accounts of the events. In some cases, they have been unable to question distraught witnesses.
Thank you, Brandy C.
According to one account provided detectives by Mr. Kirsch's brother, provided by prosecutors, detectives. Okay, wait, hold on. According to one account provided, according to one account provided prosecutors I don't know what that means. Detectives by Mrs. Kirsch's brother, Harry Paziment. These events occurred in the house. Mrs. Kirsch's son, Jeffrey, 27, was in his bedroom when he heard a doorbell ring. Okay, so the 27-year-old was in his room and he heard a doorbell ring. And he heard his mother answer it. He heard mumbling and then a shot. Kirsch repeatedly ran out into the hallway, saw a man come out of the dining room, reportedly, not repeatedly. Kirsch reportedly ran out into the hallway, saw a man come out of the dining room, and level a pistol at him. Kirsch halted, then ran out a back door. That's the son, Jeffrey. A live-in housekeeper, Clara Merritt, 45, who was working in the yard at the time of the shooting, ran in the house and found Mrs. Kirsch, according to Caffrey. So the live-in housekeeper ran in there. He said a neighbor sitting in his yard nearby had seen two men drive up in a brown car with a black top in what appeared to be messenger uniforms. Wow. One of the men carried a white envelope, which was recovered, he said. The men apparently fled, authorities said, down an unfinished road at the end of Cedar Avenue. Let's see. That's Cedar Avenue. And so, yeah, I guess we're not going to get to know what that even means. So Cedar Avenue goes like this. Maybe they went this way? I mean, oh yeah, well that's what they're saying. An unfinished road that looks like it's still unfinished, amazingly. Look at this. Right there. Boom. Is that crazy or what? I mean, still, to this day, it's, I mean, it's unfinished. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, I was just thinking that was no way. So that's exactly what happened. So from here, apparently went ding, ding, ding. Although I don't know if you still call that Cedar Road, but I maybe, because it's still, you know, it comes down and turns. Now it's called Skyview Terrace, but I would have bet you back in the day that wasn't that. So I'm going to put that. So this is Cedar, like that. Oops. So right here. All right. Let's see. So the neighbor sitting in his yard nearby had seen two men drive up in a brown car with a black top and what appeared to be messenger uniforms. The men apparently fled, authorities said, down an unfinished road at the end of Cedar Avenue next to the Kirsch's home. The road leads to a marina entrance and Adelaide Avenue. Let's see if that makes sense, what I just did here. Okay, there's Adelaide Avenue. So that's the right direction. So whether it stopped there or not, I don't know. Let me go back to... Oh yeah, well see, there you go, 2002. But look at 95, these homes weren't even there. So maybe there was a marina. This is 95. It's still 20 years after, but you know, maybe it was just right in here. And then look at the difference now. Watch. Nothing. Well, the hell, that's underwater right there. That's crazy. But look at, see right here? Let's go back to 94. This whole area over here there was stuff there. A marina. And there's the dock that they were talking about. So that's what they were doing. They drove like this down to the marina on the unfinished road there. And look at, there's even the dock, and who knows what those are. Maybe buildings and whatnot. And then we go forward to 2002. Now you can really still see the marina, and there's boats. Those are boats right there. All right, so now this is like the perfect shot of this right here. It's still pretty close to what it was. An unfinished road that leads to a marina by Adelaide Avenue, right? And now we move it to today. Like, it doesn't even look like that, especially when it's underwater, but like right there. See, that's all wooded now. They got rid of the marina. It's just an old road that goes there that isn't even used anymore. Is this interesting to you guys? Police bulletins have... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. The men apparently fled, authorities said, down an unfinished road at the end of Cedar Avenue next to Kirsch home. The road leads to a marina entrance and Adelaide Avenue. Police bulletins have described the men either as Puerto Rican or Arabic. The bulletin also described them as having long, straight black hair and wearing gray slacks and shiny black jackets. Mrs. Kirsch, however, had not been involved in any leadership positions in the Jewish organization. So what is it saying? What does that have to do with anything? Long, straight black hair and wearing gray. Mrs. Kirsch, however, had not been involved in any leadership position in Jewish organizations, according to... But why are you saying however, though? There's no... You didn't mention anything about, like a Jewish organization or anything about... But here it says, Miss Kirsch, however, had not been involved in any leadership positions in Jewish organizations, according to a personal friend, Herbert Tasman. I can't see any involvement on that score. Yeah, but what are the Puerto Ricans and, Arabic? What was it? Oh, I see, like Arabic and Jewish, 19... I don't know. Investigators found a lead slug inside. I bet it has something to do with their jewelry store, is what I think. Yeah. Investigators found a lead slug inside the stone facade home, but Caffrey said he had not determined its caliber. Another investigator waved a metal detector over and thought the densely shrub terraced front yard over and through the densely shrub terraced front yard, searched in the event that there was a gun hidden among the ivy vines, shrubbery, and trees. In New Brunswick, Middlesex Hospital officials said Miss Kirsch was dead on arrival. Police Chief William Cuddy said Mrs. Kirsch, who also had a 16-year-old daughter, Deborah, in school at the time of the shooting, was the widow of Dr. Sidney Kirsch, who died in September. Her father, Nathan Pazamant, is a principal in the Monte Carlo winery in New Brunswick. She had operated the Flair Jewelry and Boutique at 411 Raritan Avenue. The other investigators are Detective Harold. I don't really care at this point. All right, let me get to the... Now we're down. So that was A, B... Okay, we're here. And the next day in the paper... Police find few clues, no motives in the murder. Police here are guarding Jeffrey Kirsch, that's the 26-year-old, I guess, who was shot at by gunmen after his mother, Shirley, was murdered in their home here yesterday. The authorities have only a few clues, but no motive in the slaying of the 52-year-old widowed jewelry and gift store owner. Mrs. Kirsch owned and operated the Flair Jewelry and Boutique at 411 Raritan Avenue. Kirsch is a prime witness after a shot was fired in the family's home at 71 Valentine Street. The 27-year-old attorney ran out of his bedroom and saw a man point a pistol at him. He ran out the back door and along a walk at the rear of the house to the street. Let's see, how would that work? He ran out the back door. I guess you could. I don't know what it looked like back then, but maybe this fence wasn't there, and you could just go out the back, and then boom, you're right out here at the street. Or just, it's pretty easy to get through that. He ran out the back door and along a walk at the rear of the house to the street. The gunman followed Kirsch to the back door and fired a shot at him. The man did not pursue Kirsch, but returned inside the ranch-style home and fled out the front door with his companion. Kirsch later provided a state police artist with the information for a composite sketch of the gunman. Police Chief William Cuddy said, "Last night, Borough Police and detectives from the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office began devising a work schedule for plainclothesmen to watch the home of a family member where Kirsch and his 16-year-old sister Deborah are staying. Clues in the murder thus far consist of 2 descriptions and 1 composite sketch, a description of the getaway car and a lead slug found in the house. The gunman who shot at Kirsch Cuddy said, was described as 6'1", slender, with an athletic build, a slight mustache, and straight black hair, and wearing dark glasses. The police sketch is of the suspect. The other suspect, according to a less detailed description provided by neighbors, 5'7", slender, with dark hair. He was wearing a blue shirt with an insignia. Other sources described the shirt as kind of worn letter carriers. Let's see. Description. Let's see. Other sources described this shirt as the kind worn by letter carriers, a description in accord with the discovery of the empty letter envelope. See, it's weird. It almost seems like it was, like it was completely planned, that they dressed up to make them seem harmless and then killed. Cuddy acknowledged the men, and let's see. Cuddy acknowledged the men could have gained entrance by posing as messengers. Police broadcasts described the men as appearing to be either Puerto Rican or Arabic. The bulletin also identified the car as either a Plymouth Gold Duster or Dodge Swinger, both basically similar cars. It has a black vinyl top and brown, gold or tan body, Cuddy said. Cuddy said the single bullet entered the woman's left arm, passed through her heart and both lungs, and came out her right shoulder. Man, that must have been a pretty powerful bullet. Or gun, The bullet apparently ricocheted off of a piece of wall molding. So after it left her body, it ricocheted off of a wall molding, flew into window curtains, and with its velocity spent, dropped to the window sill where investigators found it, he said. Cuddy said it was a slug from either a .38 caliber. It sounds like the magic bullet, like in the Kennedy assassination. All right. So yes, you guys, if you guys, I know when I'm doing these the reading part, we slow down dramatically. So if you guys would like to help out the channel, it allows me to keep doing these shows every single night, and to donate to charities throughout the month and at the end of the month. That would be great. Thank you very much. And you get entered in for the drawing of a tumbler or a mug, depending at the end of the show, depending on how well we do. Yeah, no, it's a fence, but it's also a gate. Yeah, see, there's a fence, and then there's a gate right there. See, I see that. I just don't know if it was there at the time. Could have just been grass and a sidewalk that went down there. All right, so after running into the hall and seeing the gun, Kirsch, who recently passed his bar exam, was typing in his room when he heard the doorbell ring about 8:40 a.m., according to police and neighbors. His sister had left for high school about an hour earlier. He heard his mother answer the door, some mumbling, then a shot. After running into the hall and seeing the gun, he ran outside through the back door and fled across the street until the gunman and his companion left in a car. A housekeeper, Clara Merritt, 45, who was raking grass clippings in the yard when Kirsch was shot at, entered the house with him and a neighbor, Mrs. Eva Miller of 64 Donaldson Street. Now, where's that one? Hold on. Should be right here, right? Oh, there you go. So that's the neighbor. Now, right here. I was amazed that, although screaming hysterically after the shooting, Kirsch was able to calm down to give police descriptions and point them in the direction of the getaway route. I was amazed at his cool at this point, said one woman neighbor who declined to be identified. She said she was present at the home. He gave a good description of them. Miss Kirsch was the widow of Dr. Sidney Kirsch, an optometrist with offices in Franklin. He died of a heart attack in September. Neighbors said, born in Perth Amboy, Mrs. Kirsch was a member of a Highland Park conservative temple and center, the Sisterhood of the Temple, and a member of Hadassah. She is also survived by her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Nathan Paziment, two brothers, Harold and of North Brunswick and David of this borough. Her father is a president of Monte Carlo Wine Industries. Funeral services were at 1:30. Carolyn Sullivan, telephone operator at the Monte Carlo Winery, received an anonymous call at 8:57 this morning from a male speaking in a foreign accent who said a bomb will go off tonight at Monte Carlo and Associate Enterprise in retaliation of the Lebanese movement. Yeah. Crazy. Oh, thank you, Just a Friend on PayPal. Yeah, right now we're about 50% of a mug. All right. So let's get to the next one. Another one on the 17th. Now, and here's the picture right here. That's what the Sun described. A 6'1" slender man is being sought along with a companion for the murder of Miss Shirley Kirsch, 52, of Highland Park. Police have no composite sketch of the other suspect. For quite different reasons, the police here and neighbors of Mrs. Shirley Kirsch are asking why she was murdered yesterday. Police are trying to determine a motive to help lead them to two murder suspects. Some neighbors, meanwhile, are trying to comprehend the tragedy as something that happens in the scheme of things, yet wonder if Mrs. Kirsch was the intended victim or just someone in the neighborhood picked at random. There's no confidence in the next day when there's something like this, said Murray. Let's see. Some things seem so meaningless. Another neighbor who lives on First Avenue but who requested anonymity said the feeling in the neighborhood is that people almost would rather think it was planned than happened at random. Well, I think it was planned if they had outfits on. A similar sentiment was volunteered by Sternberg later. We're all very anxious to find out what happened. It is some person who is not quite sane. Then the next question is, who's next? He said. Police still do not know why Miss Kirsch was murdered. Two men approached her front door at about 8:40 yesterday morning, then shot her once when she apparently let them in. Her son Jeffrey, 27, ran into the hallway and saw a gunman point a pistol at him. After Kirsch ran out the back door, the gunman shot at the young man but did not pursue him. It is all very difficult to comprehend, said a man clipping hedges in front of his house on First Avenue. Now let's see what it says. One woman who would not give her name said she feels vulnerable since the shooting. Sternberg wondered aloud, how do you protect your family? Not all in the middle-class, predominantly Jewish neighborhood of one family ranch in Cape Cod Homes knew Mrs. Kirsch well. and one, they're one family. But those, like Sternberg and Miss Eva Miller of 64 Donaldson Street, who knew her as a neighbor, said she was a good one. The one with the hedge clippers said he was down in near, what does that say? Something like Nero Donaldson Park Wednesday when he saw Miss Kirsch with a 16-year-old daughter, Deborah, in their station wagon. She was looking chipper in the last couple of days. She's been looking chipper for the first time since her husband died, he said. Yep. All right. Well, moving on. See what I'm saying about when I do the readings, you guys? That's why I get so nervous when I do the stories. All right. Detectives ranged through central Jersey yesterday, running down tips they hoped might lead to the killer. At this stage, the intensive investigation officers are trying to identify the gunman who shot Mrs. Kirsch just inside her home at 71 Valentine Street. The description was provided by Mrs. Kirsch's 27-year-old son. Kirsch told detectives he heard his mother talking at the front door but could not make out the conversation. Thanks, Georgina Stoliker. I thought it was broken. Yesterday, Mrs. Kirsch was buried at Mount Lebanon Cemetery. Let's see if there's anything new in here. I don't really, describing the cemetery doesn't.
Coffee, smirking face, thumbs up.
Investigators are uncertain whether the vehicle described variously as a Plymouth Duster or a Dodge Swinger with a black vinyl top and brown, gold, or tan body turned right into River Road or went straight toward New Brunswick. Thanks, Georgina Stoliker. Oh, and thanks, MM. A snack for later. I could use an apple right now, I can tell you that. Chewbacca?
Oh, I'll
Thank you.
Chewbacca if you want me to.
Red apple, a snack for later.
Yeah, I could use one. Yeah, Cuddy conceded that the killers might have posed as delivery men or messengers when they rang the bell and held up an envelope, which was recovered later by police. After hearing the gunshot, young Kirsch ran towards the front door. I wonder if they still have that envelope. Might be some DNA on that. DNA wasn't even a thing in 74. The gunman fired one shot at young Kirsch and chased him into the rear yard, but then ran back into the house. Detectives said the suspected killer was within a few feet of the housekeeper, Clara Merritt, who was working in the backyard but made no attempt to harm her. Mrs. Kirsch, 52, who owned the Flair Jewelry and Boutique at 411 Raritan Avenue, was widowed last September. 16-year-old daughter Deborah was in Highland Park High School at the time of her mother's death. All right, let me move forward about 3 months here. So, remember that last name. Let's see what this is saying. Tragedy has hit the Nathan Pasmant family for the second time in the last 3 months. Last night, fire and explosions destroyed Monte Carlo's wine industry. Isn't that crazy? I mean, how could these not be connected? I don't know. Maybe they're not, but last night, fire and explosions destroyed Monte Carlo Wine Industries, Inc. at Jersey Avenue and Delavan Street. So let's see where that is. So right here, I guess the winery was right here. Maybe it's like that. Hey, thanks, Amber Maiden. It says, thanks for being ethical and fact-based. I know you usually don't like to do this, but can you give Al a fair my pieces of the pie, since she is a devoted freak and a struggling college student to better herself?
I'll be
Pretty
back
pleased.
if you want me to.
Thanks
Yeah, we could
for
do
being
that.
ethical and fact-based.
So if you win,
I usually
it'll
don't
go to her.
like
I already
do
put
this,
your
but
name in
can
there.
you give Alicia my pieces of the pie? She is a devoted freak and a struggling college student to better herself. Could you please? 2 hearts.
Is she not able to be in the chat? Because I made it, I think it's members only tonight, isn't it? I don't know if I intentionally did that, but hey, it's worked out pretty good. No trolls. Thank you. So this is getting kind of weird now. So last night, fire and explosions destroyed Monte Carlo Wine Industries, Inc. at Jersey Avenue and Delavan Street. Paziment is a founder and president of the winery. So this is the father. His daughter, Shirley Kirsch, was shot dead as she opened her front door to 2 men, one of them dressed as a postman, on May 16th. So they must have narrowed that down a little bit more. The murder is still unsolved. The morning after Mrs. Kirsch was killed, a telephone operator, oh yeah, remember that? At the New Brunswick winery, received an anonymous call from a man. Remember that? We actually talked about that. So remember the call that came in there. Anonymous call from a man speaking in a foreign accent who said a bomb will go off tonight at Monte Carlo and Associate Enterprises in retaliation of the Lebanese movement. So that's pretty interesting, right? Mrs. Kirsch's son, Jeffrey, 27, the only witness to the murder, described the killers as possibly Hispanic or Middle Eastern. While under hypnosis, Kirsch was able to expand his description of the men for police. Thanks, Linda Howell. Kirsch, who had trying for a wave. Kirsch, who had recently passed his bar exam, was typing in his room at about 8:40 a.m. when he heard the doorbell ring on the day of the murder. He told detectives he heard his mother talking at the front door,
Ocean wave.
but could not
Ocean
make
wave.
out the conversation.
Thumbs up, please.
He then heard his mother scream. "No," she said, followed by the sound of a gunshot. Police recovered a letter the gunman apparently used as a ruse to get into the house. He ran into the hall, saw the gun, and turned and ran outside through the back door. Kirsch told police. The gunman followed, shot at him, then ran out the front door to their car and fled. Thank you, Georgina Stoliker. Kirsch posted a $10,000 reward for the arrest and conviction of the killers. He also placed advertisements in the press with a composite sketch of one of the men, a description of both of them, and the car in which they fled. A few days after the murder, Middlesex County detectives said they had a few clues but no motive for the killing. Mrs. Kirsch, a 52-year-old widow, owned and operated the Flair Jewelry and Boutique in Highland Park. She lived at 71 Valentine Street. Miss Kirsch had not been involved in any Jewish organizations, according to a personal friend, Herbert Tansman. That's kind of weird. Maybe it was intentionally done to hurt the father. I don't know. And then 2 days later, I think there's more on that particular. Arson not suspected. Although the prosecutor's office had not official comment on the Friday night disastrous fire at the Monte Carlo winery, investigators at this point don't suspect arson. First Assistant Prosecutor C. Judson Hamlin said 24 hours after the blaze, "We have no idea now of whether it was arson or not." He declined to go beyond that statement. The Home News had learned the preliminary investigation has not turned up any evidence the fire was set. It doesn't seem to be an arson, but in several days or a week, we should be able to say conclusively. Now, the presence of Hamlin at the fire scene Friday night. So Hamlin speculated Saturday. Maybe one vent in the alcohol vats didn't work. That could have built up pressure and caused the fire. Thanks, Tony Lee. The presence of Hamlin at the fire scene Friday night raised questions as to whether the blaze could possibly figure in the May 16th murder of Mrs. Shirley Kirsch. She was the daughter of Nathan Pazamant, founder and president of the Monte Carlo Wine Industry Incorporated. However, Hamlin today declined to answer whether as to any possible link between Mrs. Kirsch's unsolved murder and the fire. So they really didn't, they don't have an answer there. And then there was like nothing for a long time. Thank you, Broken Justice. Yep, definitely broken justice out there, I'll tell you that. And Sooner History, thank you.
Your channel is so amazing, so is your chat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mama457 was. Yeah, it's like a family in here. You guys, I do the shows. You guys support the channel and charities, and everybody supports each other in the chat, and I just stare at the screen blankly. You know, like in, where is that one? I always got to do that one. Is it this one? Oh, yeah. There we go, see? Every once in a while. Thanks, DC. Camcast account. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Oh, you're gonna ask me where that was? Are you? What are you studying for, Alferi? Trying to become a doctor, nurse, something like that? All right. So here's a weird. 1978. Look at this. Police identify a suspect in 74 jeweler killing. I mean, that guy does kind of look, you know, like if you were just looking from the side, I guess. He's known as the Colombian, and he's wanted for the 1974 murder of Highland Park jewelry shop owner Shirley Kirsch. Detectives have no name for the suspected killer, but they do have a physical description and probably a left thumbprint. The other member of the two-man bandit team believed responsible for the killing Mrs. Kirsch in the hallway of her home at 71 Valentine Street, Highland Park on May 16, 1974, was identified yesterday as Ernesto Torres, 23, who was gunned down in a gangland fashion in 1976. Middlesex County Prosecutor C. Judson Hamlin and Highland Park Police Chief Angelo T. Arisi revealed this yesterday and released a composite sketch of the Colombian, who was last seen in 1976. Oh, good. Middlesex County Prosecutor. That's good. That's a nurse practitioner. Are you already a nurse then? So you can work and be in school at the same time, right? Let's see. The painstaking investigation involving, among other things, checking 178,000 fingerprints in one of the largest searches for a single print in the New York metropolitan area primarily was the job of Detective Matthew Otlowski. During the 3-year, 9-month quest for Mrs. Kirsch's slayers, investigators delved into the shadowy world of the Cuban exile underground, its organized criminal offshoots. Characters involved the Central Intelligence Agency and the ill-fated Bay of Pigs invasion. Wow. Much of the information leading to the identities of Torres, a hitman for the Cuban underground, with a string of kills believed to have been 14. Man, look how crazy this got. This is just... And the Colombian came from an unnamed informer, a one-time associate of Torres, according to Hanlon. The informer today has a price on his head of $40,000, not because of his information in the case, but because of other sins against a Cuban crime family. Mrs. Kirsch's death, according to Hamlin, was apparently the result of information provided by an underworld source in New York City's Diamond District. A report she had $100,000 worth of diamonds. Torres bought the basic facts from someone who was supposed to get a percentage of the loot, and detectives believed he hired the Colombian, a sometimes gypsy taxicab driver in New York who spoke English. At 8:40 a.m. on May 16, 1974, the doorbell rang at Mrs. Kirsch's Highland Park home. The 52-year-old owner of Flair Jewelers on Raritan Avenue went to the front door, was greeted by two men, one wearing a postal employee's uniform. That apparently was the Colombian, who handed Mrs. Kirsch an envelope. That envelope bore a thumbprint, presumably that of the killer, who is... let's see. It was being sought. There's the hallway. Mrs. Kirsch was shot. She died soon afterwards. Her son Jeffrey, a 31-year-old lawyer now living in Florida, approached, and the gunman started towards him. Kirsch picked up a chair, threw it at the intruder, then fled out the back into the yard. As the gunman followed, they came face to face with Kirsch's maid, Claire Merritt, who was raking leaves in the backyard. She too bolted, running to a neighbor's home to notify police. The bandits fired several shots at both young Kirsch and the maid, but missed. Hamlin said the composite of the Colombian has been identified both by the informer and Mrs. Merritt. A major break in the case occurred in January 1977 when Lieutenant Samuel Mandarin of the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office notified detectives on the case of a similar homicide in which one of the killers wore a U.S. Postal Service uniform. Subsequently, investigators learned the car used by the bandits had been rented in Hudson County by an Ernestico Deco who turned out to be Torres. On January 26, 1977, detectives finally identified 4 fingerprints, which had been found on the screen door at the Kirsch home as those of Torres. But by then, Torres had been shot to death. Investigators said the bungled robbery of Mrs. Kirsch was a freelance job on Torres's part, that his real employment was a ranking member of the Battle family, a Cuban underworld group. Born in Cuba, Torres went to Spain and was later brought to the country by Jose Battle, godfather of the crime family. I mean, this is crazy, right? Man, Battle, according to investigators, served as a colonel under deposed Cuban strongman Juan Batista. Later, Battle worked for the CIA and took part in the ill-fated Bay of Pigs invasion. His daughter is married to a Mexican general. Although Torres' primary function with the Battle family was to oversee illicit gambling and narcotic operations, his reputation was that of a hitman who had made 14 kills, according to investigators. Torres, who had a reputation as a high liver, had his own arsenal of sawed-off shotguns, handguns, and rifles. He became a hunted man during the fighting within the Battle family, which claimed 15 to 20 victims from 75 to 77. Battle, according to investigators, ordered a contract on Torres after a son-in-law of the Godfather was gunned down. This is ridiculous. Let's see. The family went to Miami, Florida. Okay, I guess I have to do this whole thing. On December 17, 1975, a hand grenade was rigged up under Torres's leased Lincoln Continental, which was parked outside his apartment in Cliffside Park. It was supposed to be triggered when Torres put the car in reverse, but the grenade dropped to the pavement, and the blast did not harm Torres, his wife, or his daughter. Yeah. Within 15 minutes, Torres and his family disappeared. We showed the sketch like 30 minutes ago, though, Zozo, so are you on like rewind mode? The family went to Miami, Florida, and not long afterwards, a gunman fired several shots at Torres as he was driving his car. He was wounded, but not seriously. But his charmed life was ended on June 16, 1976, when 4 gunmen walked into the Torres' new apartment. Mrs. Torres was hit twice and survived, but the killers pumped 14 slugs into Torres as he made a vain attempt to get an automatic carbine in the closet. Police found 7 other firearms in the apartment. Last December, in Miami, Battle was convicted on charges stemming from Torres' murder and was sentenced to Florida State Prison for 30-year term. When police searched Torres' quickly vacated apartment in Cliffside Park, they found the Postal Service uniform, believed used in the Kirsch murder, and according to Hamlin, found in the lining of the hat was a newspaper magazine insert dated May 12, 1974, 4 days before Miss Kirsch was shot to death. Interesting. Yeah. Let's see. And this is where I got some of these. So let's see what their write-up is on here. Yeah, it's right here. How come I went back down here, though? Let's read it. On December 24th, 1974... that's not the right one, right here. On Thursday, May 16th, 1974, at approximately 8:40 a.m., Shirley Kirsch was assaulted at her home. Suspect number 2, dressed in a postal uniform, knocked on the front door of the victim's home, advising the victim of a special delivery letter in the name of the victim. Letter was recovered. When the door was opened, one shot was fired by suspect number 1, striking the victim and resulting in her death. Suspects were observed by the victim's son and escaped from the scene in 1971 in a 1971-73 Dodge. Color medium gold, 2-door coupe. The death weapon is possibly an EIG revolver, 38 caliber, special 6 lands and 6 grooves, left twist. But then it's weird how her name pops up down here. What is this thing? A 35-year-old father of 2 was shot Saturday night after chasing a suspected prowler 2 blocks through a residential section of Woodbridge. Died yesterday in Edison Hospital. James Gallagher of 207 Rivington Street died from a bullet wound which severed his spinal cord. He had clung to life for more than 2 days at the John F. Kennedy Medical Center, Edison. Woodbridge Police Director Joseph Gillespie said witnesses to the chase have provided only vague descriptions of the killer and that it has not been determined why the suspect had been lurking near the Gallagher home. Gallagher is the second Middlesex County resident murdered near his home in the past week. Police are still searching for 2 men wanted for last Thursday's slaying of Mrs. Shirley Kirsch. Yeah, so it was weird. I was looking at the dates earlier. See, like, that's May 16th, May 18th, right there. There's a lot of cases in here. I mean, I'm gonna go through a whole bunch of these ones. And it's weird how you get like these clusters of ones not solved right around the same time. But anyways, I'm gonna go use the restroom. Alright, thanks. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I got a new. See, here's the everything tumbler, but I have black background on it. And I think it makes, you can see it better. See that? Look at that. So, yeah, it's got the black background. High quality though. Look at that. Boom. See it? Look at there's even Colleen Fitzpatrick.
It's the house!
Right there. Are you guys talking about the cases at all, or? All right. So that's it for that one. Crazy, right? I mean, it sounded like really, almost like Miami Vice type of stuff, you know. Yeah, it was weird. They never really knew why the winery burned up, but they were warned that it was going to get blown up. I mean, it's pretty. Sounds like it's got to be related. All right, moving on to the next one. Now, let me tell you where we're at right now on the mug situation. We are not at a like a tumbler or anything like that. We're not at the minimum for a mug on YouTube. Now, you like the tumbler? I think it looks cool. I mean, what I should do though is like the ones on the edge, kind of like cut around. I don't know. Jeez. Anyways, it's like part of the metal though. It's pretty good. And it even has Mary Lou next to me. Remember that little sample Mary Lou I did with the blue hair? Oh, thank you guys. Thanks to, let's see, Patricia Shirley. Thank you very much. If you don't put your YouTube name, I don't know. You know, I won't be able to guess something. And then TTJO. Oh, and by the way, the murder sheet gave permission to play their I'm going to do it on So Mean, the podcast, the ones on, Tony Klein, so we can play it and then kind of just pause it, stop, talk, pause, like that. And there's like 3 different ones, and I think it'd be cool if people got to hear them, because I think they really got something going there with their podcast. And some people, even if you go over it, aren't going to go listen to them. But I think if you heard them, and then I think we'll have them go on there as well. Come on as a guest or something. TTGO, Shirley. I think I got those. Yep. All right. Excellent. Yeah, we can't tell how fair. It's not recorded. The recording of the killer on the bridge is a really poor recording. So, it's just you can't really do stuff like that. All right. So here we go. I'm going to go to the next story is Barbara McDermott. And here we go. So the nude body of a South River woman missing since early Wednesday was found last night in a field between Route 33 and the Battleground Country Club. So, where's that? Okay. That's Route 33. Jeez. Ralph. And the Battleground Country Club. Okay, well that's okay, there's Route 33. This is the country club. So that means her body was found, somewhere in here. All right. So police positively identified the woman as Mrs. Barbara McDermott, 65. I mean, that's interesting because, I mean, that's pretty old for, you know, like to have a sexual assault where she's nude and her body's dumped. You know, you don't see that too often. So police positively identified the woman as Mrs. Barbara McDermott, 65, of 64 James Street. And let's see. It's out of and South River, maybe. There it is, South River, New Jersey. Okay. So she lived right here. They're all in New Jersey, every one of them. They're all in the same county, actually. So there you go. And so she was found way over here. It's like 12 miles away. McDermott had been reported his wife. Okay, sealed. Police positively identified the woman as Mrs. Barbara McDermott, 65, of 64 James Street, the wife of former home news printer Wallace McDermott. McDermott had reported his wife missing when he awoke early Wednesday morning, police said. The body was found at about 9:15 p.m. by a Millstone Township man who reported the discovery to state police at the Hightstown Barracks. The autopsy performed at the Monmouth Medical Center revealed the victim died of brain damage and 2 small skull fractures, according to Dr. James Norton. Norton said the woman's face was battered in several areas, most likely with a blunt instrument. There were other bruises on the knees and back, but Fortin said those could have been results when the body was dragged or thrown on the ground. Police early today said the death was definitely the result of foul play. As of early today, police had no suspects or witnesses to the slaying, although authorities from the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office, South River Police, and Hightstown State Police have launched an intensive investigation into the death. Police confirmed that Mrs. McDermott was reported missing by her husband early Wednesday morning, and that she apparently walked out of her home toward the Old Bridge Turnpike sometime between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. See, this sort of sounds like now we're getting into the domestic realm. You know, why the hell is she walking out the door at 3 a.m.? You know? So that's the home. Old Bridge Turnpike. Okay.
Chewbacca?
That's right there.
Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
So she started
Enjoy the cold
walking
cases.
this direction. Thanks, 80s baby. Yeah, I like them too. Or, I mean, I like going over them. I mean, Huh. So that's interesting. 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. However, it's not known how the woman got to the Manalapan site where her body was found about 20 miles from her home. McDermott last saw his wife at 3 a.m. when he went to bed, according to police. But why, what are you still doing up, Like, I mean, it's something that's not really normal. I mean, some people stay up that late, but it's just... McDermott told police his wife had been acting restless recently, and probably was wearing a pink nightgown and multicolored afghan when she walked out of the back door, police said. Police do not believe she was wearing shoes, although she apparently left behind her pocketbook money and eyeglasses. Police believes so. She left behind. See, I think he did. I think it's just very similar to a lot of these other cases. I mean, that's just the first instinct that you have. She was 65 years old. A little bit like, sort of reminds me of Cheryl Coker. What's the one that we were just doing recently with the girl that got in the lady that got in an argument, and then her friend came and got her daughter. He's the last person to see her, and then she just disappears. Which one is that? Yeah, D. Warner. Yeah. This could be a total D. Warner, don't you think? No, not Sierra Breland. You've been studying too hard, Alifair. No. Nothing I said matched Cassie's story at all. But yes, TTJO Tracy got it right. D. Warner. Alright, so although she apparently left behind her pocketbook, money, and eyeglasses, police believe somebody picked her up on the turnpike. Well, that's just wild speculation, right? Somewhere between Lexington Avenue. I mean, that's if you believe the story that she walked out of the house. That's the thing. Police said the Afghan was discovered. Okay, so Afghan, what's that? I mean, I know what an Afghan is, but they haven't mentioned it yet. Police said the Afghan was discovered yesterday on the turnpike near a Gino's restaurant. Ugh, that's not. Yeah, I don't think there's a Geno's anymore. So there's a turnpike. When did they mention the Afghan before? Behind a pocketbook, money, and eyeglasses. Police believe somebody picked her up on the turnpike. Police said the Afghan. Nobody mentioned an Afghan, I don't think. His wife had been acting restless recently and probably was wearing a pink nightgown and multicolored. Oh, there it is. The multicolored Afghan, like a shawl, I guess. Yeah, but couldn't he have just thrown it out? Man, I don't know. This is just... Fulham urged anyone who may have seen the woman to contact him at police headquarters. All names will be kept confidential, he said. Fulham, who said McDermott was cooperating with the police in their investigation, said no motive has been determined for the slaying. McDermott worked as a printer for the Home News for 15 years and retired in October 1972. His former co-workers expressed shock at the murder. Mrs. McDermott was a former teacher in the borough and graduated from the Douglas College, police said. Funeral arrangements were incomplete. That's her right there. Police identify murder victim. We already did that one. The day Mrs. Barbara McDermott's nude body was found in a field here, Monmouth County Detective Captain Andrew Manning said efforts to identify the woman would center on dental charts. But they already identified her. I don't know why they talk like that. The fingerprints paid off. Police routinely checked the prints taken off the body with the state police fingerprint file in West Trenton, Ewing Township. Mrs. McDermott's case, fingerprints taken 10 years ago when she was a patient in Marlborough Psychiatric Hospital. Oh, well, maybe there is something to that, you know. She had mental issues. If they had failed to show up there, police would have consulted the FBI fingerprint files. And you could have also found a fingerprint at home, right? And maybe that would match. But who knows? Maybe she wasn't really crazy, right? Police seek murder case aid. An investigation into the murder of Mrs. Barbara McDermott, conducted by 5 law enforcement agencies, has stalled. Police have asked anyone who saw the 65-year-old woman. See, here's what I could see. Like, she's kind of, maybe she is a little bit nuts or whatever, but he doesn't want to deal with that. So it doesn't change anything. I mean, this makes it even worse. You know, it gives you a motive, right? Police have asked anyone who saw the 65-year-old woman between the time she disappeared from her 64 James Street home early Wednesday morning until 9 a.m. Thursday, when her battered body was found, to contact Lieutenant Richard Fulham. The identities of anyone furnishing information will be kept confidential. The nude and battered body of Mrs. McDermott, the wife of retired home news printer Wallace McDermott, was found at about 9 a.m. Thursday in a field between Route 33 and the Battleground Country Club. Let me go check something. So she was found in a field, but let's see what it looked like. So it's been a golf course. So 95. You know, who knows? You know, could even be like down here, maybe. How about like right here? You know, that's what I'm going to move this. So they might even be thinking that's still the country club, and it's this field right here. Weird. Actually went in there. Probably homes there now, though. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? How that works. Look how there is nothing there at all. In 94, 95, just a couple homes on the edge there, and then nothing there even in 2002. Then boom. 2006, a ton of homes put it there. McDermott reported his wife missing when he awoke early Wednesday morning, police said. Identification of the body was made by state police through fingerprints, according to State Police Detective Sergeant Frank Pitcher. An autopsy performed at the Monmouth Medical Center, Long Branch, revealed the victim died of brain damage and 2 small skull fractures, according to Dr. James Norton. Norton said the woman's face was battered in several areas, and there were multiple facial cuts. There were other bruises on her knees and back, Norton said. As of early today, police have no suspects or witnesses to the slaying. Police believe Mrs. McDermott walked from her home to the Old Bridge Turnpike, a block away, sometime between 3 and 7. That's because you believe him. the husband. It is not known, because there's no cameras back then. There's nothing. So you believe him. That's what you're saying. It is not known how the woman got to the Manapalin site about 20 miles from her home. McDermott last saw his wife when he went to bed, according to police. He told police his wife had been acting, quote, restless. And probably was wearing pink pajamas, panties and undershirt, and a multicolored Afghan when she walked out the rear door, police said. Police believe she was shoeless. Mrs. McDermott's pocketbook, money, and eyeglasses were found at home. I mean, this is classic. If you did something to her at the house, this is exactly, you would have wrapped her in an Afghan. She'd be wearing what she had on. She wouldn't have her shoes on. She wouldn't have the money, the eyeglasses, the pocketbook, or any of that stuff. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just... and, well, they found her nude, though. So, yeah. The Afghan was discovered Thursday on the Old Bridge Turnpike near Gino Restaurant, about a mile from her home. So, what do you think Gino's? Is that like a pizza? Let me go back up to the home here. About a mile, they said. God, look at that. That one's right on that. I wouldn't be shocked if it was here, you know. We'll just call that Gino's. Probably didn't look like that back then, but if anybody's out there, you can look it up on newspapers.com. Probably get the actual address back then in the town of East Brunswick. Or, well, actually, we can do that. I think they did find her. I thought I read something that they found her clothing. Group organizes campaign against Gino's. Really, I don't know if... yeah, there it is. This is in New... Let's see. Yeah, New Brunswick. A group of city residents and students in mobilization, blah, blah, blah. And what's the name of the street again? It was... oh man. Yeah, that's not it. Shit. Hold on. Old Bridge Turnpike. Yeah, right there. Yeah, Old Bridge Turnpike. Does that show up in the... in here? Yeah, it's right there. Doesn't show up in that article. Carmen Street. There we go. Ah, it's somewhere else. Is that it right there? Oh, it's that direction. Okay, it's not going to be that one. They said that this was, in this article right here, it said 1976, 3 Carmen Street behind Gino's off Turnpike Road. So there you go. That's Old Bridge Turnpike. There's 3 Carmen Street. So Gino's must have been right in this area. That makes sense? So it's the other direction. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know if it's right over here or whatever, but that's the 3 Carmen Street. So it's the other direction, not here. And let's see if that's about a mile. That's going to be, yeah, it's going to be exactly, watch. So if you started at her house, went to the road, down, right in that area, it is 0.99. I mean, that's, I love it when it was almost exactly like that. So yes, that's probably where the Gino's was right there. Alright, so it's not known that the woman got to Manapellin's site about 20 miles. They don't know how she got there. McDermott last saw his wife when he went to bed, according to police. He told police his wife had been acting restless recently and probably was wearing pink pajamas. Mrs. McDermott's pocketbook, money, and eyeglasses were found at the home. Police said the Afghan was discovered Thursday on the Old Bridge Turnpike near a Gino's restaurant about a mile from her home. It is believed she was picked up on the turnpike somewhere between Lexington Avenue and Tice's Lane. Let's see where that is. So that's sort of by the Gino's here. That must be right here. So that makes sense on that aspect of it. Tice's Lane, and the other one was Lexington Avenue. Oh, it's way over there. So apparently... Oh yeah, so let me move that. So here. So I guess somewhere between Lexington, which is right here. That's pretty broad range. So somewhere in between here and here. And there's her, where Afghan was found. Hey, TTJO Tracy, you checking this story out, or? Let's see. Thursday night's investigation involves stopping automobiles in the area in hopes of finding a motorist. Wait, hold on. I'll just hit that horn button again. Hey, thanks, Janet Drums. I don't know. You might think she had dementia. Maybe she had something, but... what makes you say that? Just because she was in a mental institution before? That's the only thing that we've been told. So that's not really good investigative deduction. She was in a mental hospital one time, And there's been nothing to suggest she has dementia or anything at this point. All right? Nothing. Thank you, Janet Drums. That was in November. What difference does it make? All right, so Fulham said McDermott, who retired from the Home News October 1977, after working there 15 years, was cooperating with the investigation. Mrs. McDermott graduated from Douglas College in 1931 and was art supervisor in the borough school system from July 2nd, 1931 to June 1935. She served in the same capacity in Rumsum School in 1935 and 1936, but is not believed to have taught since then. Although she suffered from a nerve disorder many years ago, she's not been under a doctor's care recently, police said. Mrs. McDermott also is survived by a brother, William. So, see what I'm saying? There isn't anything in there that mentions anything about dementia. So where did you come up with that? Yeah, it's wild speculation there. That's almost where you got to put the Ancient Aliens guy up on there like that. That's in that realm. All right, let's do. And then I don't know, a month and a half later. Yeah, you guys went off on a totally wild tangent that had nothing to do with this one. All right, so woman provides lead in South River death, I guess. A woman whose identity is being carefully shielded has provided New Jersey State Police with a description of a man who was saw in the area where the nude, bludgeoned body of Mrs. Barbara McDermott of 64 James Street was found November 20th. That doesn't look like a guy, though, you know. I don't know. Maybe a little bit. Two state police detectives, Alan Siegel and Jack Russell, who are assigned to the Hightstown station, announced yesterday, "Oh man, you sent me to jail. Forget it. I'm going in there. It's about the only way to get us going here. I got thrown in jail. Okay, there you go." That's what I thought. Looks like a lady to me. But we won't be able to get to the rest of it until get the hell out of here. Man, you guys. Spring would be the same. This account. It's still chilly out in the spring. If you'd said summer, it would have made more sense. But anyways, I'm stuck in prison now, unfortunately. Man, my nose is getting plugged up with allergies. It does look like a life sentence. I've noticed lately when I get put in jail, I stay there a long time. A long, cold stint. We're going to have a countdown where the show just ends at a certain point. Right in the middle of the story. Yeah, there's Kim F. Harp with, I'm not even sure what that is. It doesn't even say bail on it. Just well, I could use meat pies are good, man. Especially the 4 and 20s. Thank you. All right. Well, somebody gave a damn. So thank you very much. Get myself out of there. Thanks for caring, B Mountains. Alright, so let's see. 2 state police detectives, Alan Siegel and Jack Russell, who are assigned to the Hightown station, announced yesterday the first potential break in the slang. Siegel and Russell were careful to say the composite picture based on the description provided by the mystery woman does not mean the man is a suspect. Oh, of course not. Thanks, Brandy C. Oops. Siegel and Russell were careful to say, yeah, it doesn't mean it's a... We just want to talk to him, man. Just like they said in the Delphi case. You know, that's what they said originally. Yeah, we just want to ask this guy some questions. He's not a suspect. They said that the first time they put out that picture. And it was like, are you kidding me? I mean, of course he's a suspect. The detectives said they can be reached at phone number there. Siegel and Russell would only say the woman told police she was driving in the area when she saw the man. Now I want to see what the husband looked like. They would not reveal whether the woman saw Mrs. McDermott's body or how she came to be in the area. They said she saw the man shortly before the body was discovered. The officers further declined to reveal where the woman lives or why so long a time elapsed before she came forward. They did say, however, that early next week they will make public a description of the car the man, whom they say could be white or Hispanic, was driving based on the woman's information. Man, my nose is just plugged up all of a sudden. Mrs. McDermott, the wife of Wallace McDermott, the former printer at the Home News, disappeared from her home between 3 and 7 a.m. November 19th. Her body was discovered by a Millstone man who alerted state police at the Hightown barracks. An autopsy performed at the Monmouth Medical Center in Long Branch showed the victim died of brain damage and 2 small skull fractures. See, that sounds like something that would happen at home, you know, just everything about this. Dr. James Norton, Associate Medical Examiner for Monmouth County, said Mrs. McDermott's face was battered and her body bore numerous bruises. Doesn't that sound like something that's going on at home? Like they're, you know, there's a fight at home. No, it doesn't sound like a fall at all. The clothes Mrs. McDermott wore when she disappeared, a white and pink nightgown and pajama bottoms, were discovered near the intersection. Oh, wait. So now it's the whole all the clothing. Hey, thank you, Loretta Reyes. Yeah, well, thank you for the, I'll get a meal. I'll get a McDonald's. The clothes Mrs. McDermott wore when she disappeared, a white and pink nightgown and pajama bottoms, were discovered near the intersection of Old Bridge Turnpike and Seppi Avenue. So where the hell is that? Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's right around here. Jeez. So right near Gino's. So it's kind of... So clothing found. The Afghan was found by Gino's, and now we've got the other clothing found. She disappeared. A white and pink nightgown, pajama bottoms were discovered near the intersection of Old Bridge Turnpike and Seppi Avenue, November 23rd. A multicolored Afghan was found on November 20th. Okay, so right there. Police reported at the time that McDermott had passed a polygraph test. See, now you can tell that they're a little interested in it. Authorities theorize Mrs. McDermott was picked up at the Old Bridge Turnpike, but they have no clues as to how she got to Manalapan, some 20 miles from here. Right. He passed the polygraph. Well, that's case closed, everybody. Polygraph, case closed. State police say publication of a drawing of a man they want to question in connection with the slaying of Mrs. Barbara McDermott of South River has resulted in a scanty description of the car the man may be driving. State Police Detective Alan Siegel, one of 2 state investigators assigned to the case, said police have received... What are you doing, Blue? Received a lot of calls since the sketch was published January 16th. Since then, state police said they have learned the man may be driving a light blue car with a black racing stripe on the hood. No other details of the vehicle were available. The man, pictured in the state police composite sketch, is not a suspect in the case. State police said he was seen in the area where the nude, bludgeoned body of a 64-year-old Borough woman... That's such a sketchy lead. Like, oh, he was seen in the area. It could have just been some guy walking by. Mrs. McDermott disappeared from her home between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. November 19th. An autopsy revealed she died of brain damage and 2 small skull fractures. In addition, her face was battered and her body bore numerous bruises, according to an associate medical director. Anyways, that was it, man. After that 1976 article, they never covered it again. Pretty crazy, right? All right, moving on to the last one. Joseph Syslo. Almost hardly anything on this one, but we'll do it anyways. All right. I mean, all of these cases need to be talked about again at some point. Yeah, they didn't talk about it anymore. It just went. So here it is. It's like a 14-year-old. The partially decomposed... So this is one they don't know what it is. Like what's going on here. The partially decomposed body of 14-year-old Joseph Paul Syslo, the object of a 2-day search, was found at about 10:30 a.m. today near his bicycle. Where his bicycle had been found. Yesterday in a densely wooded area off... where is it? Jernee Mill Road. Yeah, see, all these things aren't too far away. So there is Jernee Mill Road. According to, so it's found yesterday in a densely wooded area off Jernee Mill Road. So we'll just go ahead and put that that's what that is. Jernee Mill Road. Shit, now I'm seeing that fly. Oh, you can't see. All right. I was looking at the fly. Yeah, I think the last one was domestic violence. They just couldn't pin it on him because he passed the polygraph, and of course that's foolproof. So I got like 4 tumblers now. The fully clothed body was located face up in a small tidal pool near the Insel Acoustic Corp. So where is that still there? Insel Acoustic. Yeah? Jeez. No. But hey, there's Insel Acoustic. It's in South Africa. But man, it has the exact same name. Wow. Okay, let me go back. Anything look like could have been an old... Huh. Maybe right there. Oh, we can try that too. Hold on. Yep, so there's it's reference right there. Oh, there's Jernee Mill Road. So it actually has the road but no address. I mean, that's the exact spot though. Yep, Jernee Mill Road. Crazy. Well, let's see. Jernee Mill Road. At 201 Insol Acoustic Corp, Jernee Mill Road. Man. So, I wonder if that's it right there. That's a ballroom, it says. I don't know. Well, there's the road. I think it's only from there to right. Yeah, that's not it. So I think it just ends right here. Yeah, see. So that's the only, that's it. It just, no, it does go right there. So I think what we're looking at is it just goes from here like this. And then it ends up right over here. Yeah, it does. That's not even it right there. So it just ends right there. See what I'm saying? That's right, everybody. Go get that drink. Unless you're an alcoholic, then don't drink. Or if you just don't like it. Or if you just don't want it. You know? Thanks, Gator96. So it's just somewhere along here. It could easily be, that looks like a big, Impex Worldwide. That was a worldwide company. So it could easily just be right in this area. So I'm just going to guess. Body found, we don't know yet. Maybe we'll get some better information
Friday
later.
night drink dollar.
Yeah. Yeah, come up with all the other ones, Alifair. Use your medical, what else? What other types of things? Let's see, the youth and 8th grader at Our Lady Victorian Roman Catholic Church Elementary School had been missing since 6 p.m. Saturday and was reported missing by his parents early Sunday morning. The fully clothed body was located face up in a small tidal pool near the Insol Acoustics Corporation. A tidal pool, huh? Well, Oh, there you go. So right here, maybe? That kind of makes sense. Like, if that's it, I mean, there's this. Let's just put it over here. Right there. Actually, how about that one? It's right off of that road. There's one over here too, but you know, who knows? Anyways, I'm just going to leave it there. There's Dompax Corporation. Let me go from 1981 to 2000. God, come on. 1981 to 2000. A1, 86. '86, 81. All right, let me try like later. I'm just hoping they transferred it to something else. Yeah, now it doesn't exist. Well, let's see, maybe it's up here. Yeah, see that? Oh wait, I did it wrong. Idiot. Let's see, 2001 to 2020. I'll put that in where the keyword was. All right, 2009. Oh, well, there we go. Before retiring in 1983, he was employed by Insul Acoustic. Okay, that's that one. 2004. Another person that died that worked there. Don't see it. How about 1987? Oh. Yeah, so it's still in there. The companies are owner of the landfill Cellatrix Corporation, cleaning up. Due to improper closure of the landfill, pollutions have drained into wetlands adjoining the South River. The companies are Quigley Company, the owner of the landfill, Colatex Corporation, and Insul Acoustic Corporation, both of Sayreville. Chevron Chemical. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to find it. Maybe they were bought out by somebody at some point. Alright. So Boiler said the body bore no marks or apparent signs of injury. So the teenager's relatives said he frequently went to the woods for hikes and to pick berries. Police said the area had been checked Sunday, but the bicycle was not found until yesterday. Keys estimated the boy had been dead since Saturday. An autopsy by the Middlesex County Medical Examiner Office was set for this afternoon. Boiler said the body bore no marks or apparent signs of injury. A sheriff deputy who handled the bloodhound said he went through chest-deep water during the search. Other searchers had trudged through mud and muck above their ankles in their effort to find the youth. Fire trucks and rescue vehicles equipped with spotlights from the borough for fire departments and 2 rescue squads provided the light for the search. The mobile crime lab from from the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office was also on the scene. The search party was mobilized. During the search, detectives Douglas Olson and Frank Seaman stumbled onto a marijuana plant garden hidden behind clumps of tall weeds. And that's sort of weird, right? The plants, ranging in size from 2 to 4 feet, were pulled up and packed away in the trunk of one of the patrol cars. The plants, so there wasn't just one, it was like a marijuana grow, you know. 2 to 4 feet were pulled up and packed away in the trunk of the patrol car. Later that evening, they all smoked dope and got high as a kite. The detectives... What are you talking about, Loretta? The detectives said there were about 8 plants. So there was 8 pot plants there. That's interesting. Yeah. No foul play seen in death of boy. So that's what they said. Following an autopsy on the body of a 14-year-old Sayreville boy found yesterday in a tidal marshland, investigators said there was no evidence of foul play. Detective Captain William A. Keyes of the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office said that the autopsy findings were consistent with drowning. Keyes added the case will not be closed until all the autopsy examinations have been completed. Detectives at first believed Joseph P. Syslo of 16 Washington Road. So let's do that. Probably just right above there. Yeah. It's always weird when you see the houses. Right there. They might have been the victim of foul play, they thought, after finding his body yesterday morning in a densely wooded area off Jernee Mill Road. The boy's family reported him missing on Saturday, touching off a 2-day search that involved off-duty police firemen, a New Jersey State Police helicopter, and bloodhounds. Detectives felt the youngster might have been assaulted after his partially decomposed body showed signs of bruises. But officers later learned that he had been injured Friday in a fall off of his bicycle. It was an officer with bloodhounds that actually directed the searchers into the area where the body was found by Sayreville Detective Sergeant Edward Kilcombs. The area is a landfill site, and it was there that the youngster said he intended to go Saturday about 6 p.m. when he left home, according to Keyes. There they go. Look at Chloe battling again. What are you guys talking about? Are you guys like part of some weird? What are you doing, Loretta? Loretta, and I mean, what are you guys typing in? It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like this inflation and money and feed your family for $39.50 a week. Are you in here to sell stuff or? Okay, I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Yeah, I wasn't looking at the ad. I was actually covering a story. The ad, didn't mean anything. Yeah, $39 a week is absolutely doable. In today's world, you just have to eat certain types of, food. Everyone wants to... Hey. Blue's over here going, can you get her away from me, please? Get her away. This sucks, Gray. All right, detectives at first believe that we already did that part. So we're up here. Young Syslo was in 8th grade. Wait, searchers concentrated on the landfill site after the boy's 10-speed bicycle was found. Young Syslo was an 8th grader at Our Lady of Victory's elementary school, and according to Keyes, often hiked and rode his bicycle in the area. The autopsy by Dr. Marvin Schuster, Chief Middlesex County Medical Examiner, labeled the cause of death as visceral congestion. What does that mean? Jesus, I never heard that one. Maybe central to is heart failure, it says. Purpose of review, visceral congestion of the gut may play a key role in the... I don't even want to... What a boring topic. Surviving are his parents, Joseph M. and Florence Kulisa Syslo. 2 brothers, Michael J. and Paul M., 2 sisters. Alright, so then we got 6:30, and then there was one last article on July 14th. And this is it. The tragic, this is 1976. The tragic death of 14-year-old Joseph Syslo in a tidal marshland in Sayreville last month has too many loose ends for 3 detectives who investigated. Although it appears that the youth drowned in some way that is yet to be explained, Lieutenant Harold Cannell of the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office and Sayreville Detective Robert Dunworth and Richard Sloan want more definite answers. Young Syslo had been missing from his home at 16 Washington Avenue, Sayreville, for about 66 hours when his body was found on June 29th off Jernee Mill Road. Officially, the remote area where 2 bloodhounds traced the body is known as Landfill Number 3. That marshy section, I wonder if it's still known as that. Well, nothing. The marshy section was well known to the youth. He went there often. Nell said the investigation has shown the boy was known to roam that entire area. See, that would make it less likely that he drowned, though. The bloodhounds provided by the Ocean County Sheriff's Office actually took 2 different routes before stopping at a spot at the edge of the tidal stream in which the body was found. Young Syslo had walked over the entire area, and Nell added that that's why the dogs so readily picked up the scents. Knowing the marshland as well as he did, the boy should not have stumbled, there you go, into the water, Nell said. And that is one of the puzzling aspects of the case. Another fact that disturbs the investigators is the distance between where the body was found and the spot where searchers located the boy's bicycle. It's 173 feet away. It's suspicious, Nell said. There are 2 possible explanations. Well, couldn't he have just set the bike down and, wandered, because the bike wasn't able to get through and he just kind of walked somewhere? It's suspicious, Nell said. There are 2 possible explanations. If, in fact, young Syslo did not leave the bike and walk to the spot where he drowned. Let's see. If, in fact, young Syslo did not leave the bike and walk to the spot where he drowned. Either the body or the bike was moved by someone. Another unusual factor in the case was the discovery of 8 marijuana plants growing close to where the boy's body was pulled from the stream. Nell said the plants had been cultivated carefully and were surrounded by wire apparently intended to keep out rodents or other small animals. There may be no connection whatsoever, but the investigators are considering the possibility the pot farmer wanted his marijuana left alone and moved the bicycle in hopes that strangers would not spot his illicit garden. Less acceptable was the possibility the boy was slain because he found the marijuana crop. Yeah, that's kind of a small crop to kill somebody. Nell said experiments are being planned to determine the effect of the tides in the area, whether the tidal current might have moved the boy's body. Well, could he swim though? I mean, this just seems so... The investigators concede they are suspicious of the position of the bicycle. They believe it could have been thrown in the place where it was found. The autopsy showed only that the boy died of visceral congestion, a condition of the lungs consistent with drowning. That doesn't rule out drowning, Nell said. He also added slow strangulation could not be ruled out yet. More answers may be forthcoming in several weeks when the state laboratory completes analysis of specimens sent for further study by Dr. Marvin Schuster, Chief Middlesex County Medical Examiner. And for the present, Nell added, you can definitely say the investigation is continuing. Yeah, except there was absolutely nothing else after that. And then the write-up in that on that website was, on June 29, 1976, the body of 14-year-old Joseph Syslo was found in tidal marshland off Jernee Mill Road in Sayreville. He had last been seen on June 26 bicycling away from his home on Washington Avenue in Sayreville. He was found in the water, and his bicycle was found 173 feet away from the body, which the police saw as suspicious. Also suspicious was the marijuana plant, but it was plants, not one, that was found in the vicinity of the body. It was unclear to police if Joseph was the owner of the plant or if he stumbled upon the plant, but the police were wondering if what they should have done was left the plants there and surveilled it and waited for anybody to come back to collect the plants. And they should have pretended they didn't find it. Let's see. An autopsy revealed that Joseph's death resulted from drowning. The police were unsure if it was an accident drowning or a homicidal drowning, but the boy was known to be very familiar with the area and spent a significant amount of time in the marsh. So they're still wanting answers to this all these years later because they don't know what the hell happened. So there you go, everybody. I hope you found tonight's show interesting. You know? I did. Yeah, there's no answers. So thanks to Ellen, Brown-Eyed Girl, 714, Mary Glaviano, Yvonne T, Kelly Dragonborn, Hallie Pike, Susan Mouse. Oh wait, I won't say the real name or the YouTube name at this point. All right, and then let's see, Terry Abbott, Just a Friend, Patricia Shirky, and TTJO Tracy. All right. And then, oh shoot, didn't have that open. Gotta go back up to here. Alright, and thank you to Kathy Friday Maker, Sherlock Hemlock, Joe VW, Sammy, Georgina Stoliker, Karen Van Patten, Kristen Cure, Judy, Jessica Schubach, Lori Fisher, Your Gypsy, and Cat Eye by Lindsay, Candalee Woodward Stone, Brandy C, Georgina Stoliker, MM, Amber Maiden, Linda Howe, as in Linda Molden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles, Georgina Stoliker, Tawny Lee, Broken Justice, True Crime, Sooner History, Mom of 457 Rose, DC, 80s Baby, Janet Drums, Kim F. Sharp Harp, B Mountains, Brandy C, Loretta Reyes, and Gator 96. Yeah, so we made it to the everything mug level, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing. The everything mug. Actually, we'll do the everything tumbler, okay? Alright, everything tumbler coming up. You guys ready? I'm going to boost it up to the everything tumbler. And we've got a shuffle. Ding, 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 ding. First person to type in 1, I'm going to stop this shuffle. What do you mean, huh? Oh, there we go. Jen Richards. I stopped this show.
Huh?
Huh? Suzanne Marcella?
Huh?
Huh?
Huh? Huh? Huh? Huh?
You guys ready? This is for the everything tumbler. Here we go, everybody. And Alifair, send me an email, all right? No, B Mountains again. I mean B Mountains. There you go, B Mountains. You got it. The everything tumbler. Awesome. So you just send me an email, and man, my nose is. I gotta get some allergy meds. So send me an email. We'll hook you up. All right. If you've already got the everything tumbler, we'll send you. When I say wheel, it's me. I'll send you the emoji one or whatever. Right. Oh, when you do 25 on PayPal, you would get like 8. Yeah. Did you send one in today? I mean, I don't get it. Oh yeah, I only got one $25 one, but it wasn't from you. Are you just curious about another show, or what are you asking about there, Suzanne Marcella? All right, Bee Mountains. Awesome. So send me an email with your address and I'll ship it off. I'm just waiting for the answer. Yeah. So if you send in 5, you get 2 because you can't do a half. But if you send in 10, you get 3. 20, you get 6, not 4. So. Anyways, I guess I don't get an answer. All right, everybody. Thank you, guys. All right. Oh, man. Oh, you're on rewind. Well, if you send it in, you'll be the first one on there tomorrow, Suzanne. You never know. All right, guys. Thank you for being here tonight. I hope you, those are just stories that nobody's ever going to be talking about. But you might as well try to get their name out there. Maybe somehow somebody will hear it and say, oh, yeah, remember that one? And start talking about it again. And you just never know. But these are like these cases that are so cold. They are absolute cold as hell. Or we could just sit there and keep talking about summer wells for every second of every day for a year. It's, help something else out. You ever thought of that? All right, guys. Thank you for being here, and we will see you guys tomorrow. And after I get my nose unplugged, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. One of these times I say, Bee Mountains. You're going to get freaked out.
What, Gray? What do you think, Gray? Jay?
Wow, is your nose plugged too?
Yeah, it's a little bit stuffed up. It's allergy season.
That is allergy season. Trying to rejector.
Gee, Gray, don't you know that spring is allergy season?
Gonna get ya. I knew that. I'll stretch ya. If you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture.
Crime collector, free connector. And I'm always gonna be a protector.
Hold up. Interceptor.
And I'm even gonna respect the with a vector.
On his
Vector.
with all respect. Just remember I've a fucking check ya.
I have no agenda. I'm a bartender.
And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Good night, everybody.
Hey, wasn't the show pretty? It was really smooth tonight with absolutely 0 trolls. Wasn't that nice? And thanks for everybody who joined tonight. I think we got 3 more tonight. Pretty cool. So thank you guys, and it's nice not to have any trolls. Now, if you want to, send in and become a channel member, be a troll, and then be blocked immediately, and then become a channel member again the next night, and be blocked again immediately, that's absolutely fine. Well, it'll help out the end of the month donations out tremendously. Thank you. But in the meantime, it wasn't too nice. It wasn't too bad to not have any trolls. So, anyways, I accidentally made it members only, but I was thinking, because here's what happens when you do a live stream, you can use a previous show as a template. So I used last night's show as a template, filled it all out, didn't realize I remembered that it was members only, and there it was. I'm not going to be playing golf for a while here. Trying to get my hips to move better and stuff like that. I've been watching a lot of Elvis movies. Just kidding. All right, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, everybody, until next time.
Be safe out there.
Be safe out there.
Be safe out there.
Jeez, you guys are crazy.